Hey, everybody. So glad you're here with us today. I have Jake Wood as a guest again, and you will hear more of his incredibly remarkable lived experience as an addict and learning to trust himself again. This is a deep conversation. Enjoy. Hey, everybody. We're so glad you're back with us, and we are so thrilled to have Jake Wood back with us. Hi, Jake.
Hello, Beth. Thanks for having me again.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love conversing with you. So, okay, so as just a reminder, the last episode of the podcast was all about uh you referred to it as like System Jake on his way to finding like Soul Jake. And so will you help us understand and take us to where I guess the system started breaking down for you, and what does system mean? Like, what are you referring to?
Yeah. So the system that I'm referring to, it's all of the things that basically conditioned who I was. So system meaning, where I lived, the environment that I grew up in, my family
Like
system,
culture,
culture, society, everything that
religion.
conditions us. Yes, religion, like school. So everything that I was seeing that I wasn't really fitting into, right? I thought I was the one that was broken, right? And so I'm getting diagnoses of bipolar and, getting,
Oh, right.
the major depressive disorder and all of these disorders, I'm having the system label who I am, right? And so
Yep.
I go through the rehabs, I go through therapy, I get on all of the medications because I'm the problem,
Yeah.
according to the system. That's
Right.
kind of the message I'm getting. Nobody's saying that,
Right.
but that's really the message. It's like, oh, I'm broken because I can sense that I'm not the same as everybody else. Understanding that nobody is actually the same now, but like for some reason it just felt like I was the only one
Yeah.
that didn't know how to figure this out.
Yeah. I think that
So yeah,
would ring true to a lot of kids. Yeah.
yeah. And so it's more so of when, I was, I was excommunicated from the religion that I grew up in, but I really wanted to get back into that religion. And I tried my best. It was like 10, 11 years of in and out of rehab. Um,
That's a long effort.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it's relapse after relapse, right? It's like, I can't figure out how to do this. But, I was finally able to meet a bishop, a mentor who I felt like he just understood me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a letter of the law kind of approach that he took with me. It was a spirit of the law. So this kind of goes with the system and soul, where it was like, here's all of these rules that the system has for me, but I'm obviously not doing that great fitting
Right.
into this box. And he just kind of took a different approach where he was just able to tone me down. Like the stakes were so high in the system
Hmm. Like
that,
you're either gonna make it or break it, kind of a thing,
yeah,
like a black and
regardless
white.
of what system it was, it's if I'm in the 12-step system and I start getting, months of sobriety, well, now I'm risking if I relapse and I'm losing all of that sobriety. And then I just lost the shame comes in. And now everybody was so proud of me because I was doing so well.
Oh,
But
right.
now I need to say something because I just messed up.
Right. Oh,
Or
yeah,
if you
yeah.
go, but add on to that existential, like my religious, I suffered from, I don't know if you're familiar with scrupulosity. It's
No, please explain.
it's kind of a form of OCD in a sense. It's like it's obsessive compulsive of when it's regarding religion or morality.
Oh,
And
okay.
so it's like it got to the point where I would be repenting just nonstop in my head. Like I'd have a bad thought and immediately like, oh, Heavenly Father, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, and it was just a constant
Okay, got it. So
repentance and
extreme.
extreme. Yeah. So the
Okay.
faith that was supposed to be healthy for me kind of turned into an overarching somebody just always watching everything that I'm doing. And so I have this existential angst now that not only am I not doing well, but now I'm not going to be able to be with my family. That was the system that I grew up
That's the
in.
belief. Hmm.
Yeah. Of if I can't be this good member, I can't sit at the table.
Yeah.
And so,
Like
so
so
yeah.
Like your worth is at stake, right? Your
Mhm.
everything is at stake. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that.
So not only in my mind is it coming through that I'm not getting this right, it's I'm literally a bad person.
Yeah,
So like my very
yeah.
core sense of self was like, well, I'm just I just can't figure this out. So that's when I
Oh,
struggled with the suicide ideation of like, then I don't want to do this anymore. Like I
right.
just kept seeing how much pain I was like, people would get excited that I'm doing good and then I would fail. And then, I would disappoint everybody. And so it was just like, I don't want, like,
So
I
you
just
felt like you
felt,
had no choice, right? Like, well, I
yeah,
have to be this person or I have to buy into whatever they're saying, like that?
yeah, yeah. Oh, cause it was just like, well, because it's all or nothing.
Yeah,
And if I can't keep all of the commandments, if I can't do everything that allows me to be a part of this system, then why am I going to keep just letting everybody down?
yeah. Like, what's the point?
Yeah. So I would have these
So
conversations
insightful.
with my mom and just be like, I know it would let you down if I ever did that to myself, but it's like it'd be the last time. Like I'm like, I'm so
Oh,
tired of just constantly hurting everybody. That was
right.
so that just kind of how like the system had taken over my my value. Like it was the one that was had the authority to tell me if I was worth something.
Right. Oh, it's so um, yeah, when we seek externally to find out if we're good or not.
Mhm.
Oh, and I know so many people do, but that just now that we're talking about it, it does seem so ill placed.
Yeah. And it's
But
just
like,
an extra burden because now the
yeah,
burden is out of our hand to even do anything about,
right,
right? Because if we have society, the one telling us if we're good enough, right? Like you think about what we identify with our job. You got to be the best at your job and you've got to provide for your family as a man. It's taking our power and authority away
right,
of being able to rest in who we actually are because it's a constant hero's journey of, okay, now I've got to prove my worth. And if I'm not able to do that, then I don't even want to be here. Eventually,
right.
I'm able to meet a mentor who sees me for me and
Okay.
is talking with me and helping me get back to, I was able to get rebaptized finally. But then it was
Because that was the
still,
goal at the time.
that was the goal. Yeah, it was like, well, I
Yeah,
got to get rebaptized because now I'm back into the fold.
yeah.
Now I belong with
Now I
someone
belong
again.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because of my actions, but still tied to my behavior. That has been my
yeah,
problem my whole life is this behavior.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so then when did it start crumbling?
It started crumbling because it's like that was where my sense of safety was tied to as well, like my faith and my family and everything. And so I'm like, okay, if I can keep the commandments, it's this prosperity gospel. Like if I do what's right, God will bless me. I'll
Yeah.
be safe. And about a year or so after getting rebaptized, I start to progress in my company and I'm like killing it at work and I keep getting all of these promotions.
Mm.
So I'm like, ooh, it's working. Right. But I'm overworking and I'm just
Constantly trying to prove still.
constantly trying to because
Yeah.
then I'm like, well, now I'll take over. Right. Like I'm like, and then I can show everybody that I'm not this screw up, that I'm actually good at this. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm helping people. I become a sales manager and I'm like, I'm loving like the coaching with working with people and helping them. But then my relationship starts to suffer because I'm working just constantly. So then I come home and I'm like, but you don't understand. I'm doing this for us. Like, and it's kind of like
Mm.
I have my vision and my goal, and my partner Kira, you're gonna come along with me as I as I dominate. And so system wise, the success, right? The system would say I'm doing well. I'm starting to make a lot of
Oh my
money.
gosh, you're checking all the boxes.
Yeah.
And
I
everyone's like patting you on the back saying, good
mhm.
job, good job.
And I'm this great redemption story of, oh, Jake was a drug addict and now he's back in the church and now he's doing well. And I wanted to help other people and speak. It's like you can do what I'm doing too. But
Right.
inside,
And your
like
parents are proud of you and they're
everyone's
now they
proud.
can,
Yeah.
oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah. But inside I'm like my essence is dying.
Mm.
because I still cut off the parts of me that were curious, that didn't want to have to prove my worth. Right? Like, because then I always have to be on. I'm
Yeah,
always having to
always.
be, oh, everybody's saying something good. It's like, okay, that's the Jake they like.
Right. So I'll be that.
So I'll be that. So it wasn't, that's still me not being sovereign in who I am. It was still this system. That's who they told me I should be. That's what they told me I should want. And then that's
Right.
when I got cancer, right? I was just overworking, and the leukemia came and was like, all of the things that you did before, like that's not going to happen. And everyone's like, oh, you're a fighter. You'll be able to fight through this. And
Did
the
you
only
feel
fight,
punished by the leukemia?
at first I did, because I was like, well, I made it through addiction and depression. I was like, I can do this. But then immediately I had a part of me that was like, well, I just did all that. So why do I have to go? I'm like, I
Right.
thought I just passed the test. Like, what
Right.
are we doing giving me this other trials after
Right.
just going through all of that? Because then I started second guessing. It's like, I actually don't know if I do have the strength to
Right.
do this now. That's asking me to, immediately here, you got to just go to the hospital, and your life is completely like the Jake before is no longer, right. Like it's, yeah. So yeah, there was a sense of, because of that prosperity gospel too, I also blamed myself. I'm like, oh, it was because I wasn't reading as much or
Right.
praying as much as I should be, right? The dues.
Woof. Yeah.
So yeah. And the fact that I just worked so hard to get over the depression, that was the first thing that came back.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
Sure.
oh man, yeah.
Okay. So then did the system start breaking down when you got
Yes.
cancer? Like you were
Yeah.
like, wait a second. What
So the
what
body
is
felt
this?
it first. The body went through it first, right? My whole cancer process, the leukemia, like leukemia itself is a blood cancer. My life force running through my body turned on me and started producing these cancerous cells, just similar to how my scrupulosity
Right.
beliefs went. It was like attacking everything. So it kind of made sense that, oh, my body is now having this mutation happen. And now there's this cancerous
Yeah.
behavior that's running through my veins. And that literally was my mindset. I have to run through everything. I have to dominate. I have to control. And so it really does mirror that cancer process, where the cure for that was a bone marrow transplant, right?
Okay.
Where they need to give me poison, chemo. They need to poison my whole entire system
Right.
to go to the deepest part of me, my bone marrow, the marrow inside of my bones, the structure, and just clear all of that out and restart it. It's like having a garden and the soil gets poisoned with these weeds. It's like you've got to clear the whole thing out so
Okay.
that the donor now can come in, which was my little sister, and it can now rebirth new healthy cells and a new system that can work through. So my body goes through this transformation. I don't make any of these connections because I don't think
Right at the
mythically at the
time.
time and like
Yeah, yeah.
symbolically or anything. And so I'm just going through it. And all I know is like I can't do anything. Like here I am supposed to be
Oh,
so strong, but like
right.
I'm literally just, I feel like I have my head just surviving above water. Like I feel like, and everyone's like, oh, you're so strong. It's like I'm laying in bed every day and just like hoping I don't die. That's all I'm doing. I'm not like, I'm not strong. I'm not,
Right.
but it was teaching me to, like, there's another way to fight.
Like just a letting go.
Yeah. It's a different type of strength.
Okay.
Like, can I still be strong when when I can't get up and vacuum the floor for Kira, or when I
Right.
can't be
Or
productive, like,
crush the sales
or
job or
crush the
whatever.
sales, or even work at all? Like, can you still,
Oh,
you know, find value in what's going on? And so
so it
I
all broke down.
all breaking down of like my worth as in physical wise, because physically
Right.
I can't do anything. So then for a full year, I'm quarantined, right? We can't leave the house. I'm on oxygen. I'm on all of this medication. And it's a really sensitive time because my immune system is now suppressed. So I'm
Right.
really susceptible to disease and infection and all of that. And then I started to like, because we couldn't do anything, it was like, well, let's read a bunch of stuff. Like we were just reading everything that was out there.
Okay.
And I found a letter that it was kind of like it went through a bunch of church history stuff. So I just happened upon it, and it just killed me because it's crazy because I've heard my whole life, don't look into some of these, they call it anti-Mormon.
That's what they say.
Yeah. But the letter that I saw, I was like, it was actually resourcing everything from the church itself. It was like deeper into the church, that the church actually had all of the history, but it just wasn't told to me. And so it was like,
Sure.
I just felt like this big betrayal of, why didn't they tell me this in the first place? Like,
Yeah.
this is no crazier than the original story that they did tell me. Me believing that Joseph saw God and Jesus in real
Yeah.
life, and then translating the scriptures. Like, why didn't they tell me the other parts of it that actually happened? Like, I would have believed that too, but then that betrayal, that being lied to by the system, where the stakes were so high that if it wasn't true, remember,
Yeah.
I was scrupulous. Like, I was like, this is literal, and my family would always be like, why are you taking it so seriously? And like, because if it's true, our salvation depends, like, right, like everything
Yeah.
depends on it. So
Right.
it hit is like, that belief was so strong that no, there wasn't any room for that system to lie to me.
Right. So then you find out that you were lied to. You're
By the system that shaped my identity.
right.
So the system, Jake, that I wanted to be, I just found out was actually not telling me the whole truth.
Was that enraging? That's the word that comes to
It
mind. Like,
it was
absolutely.
it was everything. It was, the cancer was so not even close to being how disorienting this was.
Oh, that's
Because
interesting. Yeah.
Beth, I just spent 11 years.
Oh,
I was wanting to commit, like, just to end everything, because
yeah.
I couldn't be what this system was telling me that I needed to be.
Yeah.
And it hurt so bad that I put so much belief behind it. Like, it was my everything.
Right.
And then just to have it ripped away, it was like, it was everything. It was like, well, I couldn't stop reading it either. Like, it's this
Yeah.
long, long letter, and it was just one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. And then when I would ask family members about it, like just being curious because I'm going through it, it's like, oh, Jake's into anti-Mormon stuff. And now
Yeah. Like,
again,
what are you doing? You shouldn't do
yeah.
that. You're naughty.
And now again, I am the exile. I'm the, oh, he's dangerous. These
Yeah.
questions that I'm asking are dangerous. But that's what my life has been showing me. Like, I had to be able to go there, because this structure that I thought I was, that's the thing that needed to die. I would always be System Jake if that structure stayed there, that belief, right? And
Yeah.
so when that, I wish it would have taken me a little bit, but it just threw me off of, like, now I don't know who I am. I'm 32
Yeah.
years old. And,
Right. Because what you believed in is now completely crumbled. And it's almost like, well, now you have nothing like
and
that.
then also the spirituality part. Like, I was getting answers to my prayers. I was finding answers in the scriptures. So if I was lied to, then who was answering those prayers?
Boy, that is a good question, right? Like I can imagine that would be the question.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second. Okay.
Yeah.
And so then I guess there's this the moment of the betrayal and the all the emotions are like, just so
So
enraged.
this is the chemo piece. This is,
Okay.
the poison is actually the truth. Me
Yeah.
learning the truth is what is clearing out my system that was diseased. So the truth hurt so bad. It
Yeah.
was painful. But that's I feel like what these things that happen in life, whether it's our kids going astray or the pain that we are dealing with, we want to do everything we can to avoid that pain. So we'll go
Yeah.
cut it off, we'll go medicate it, we'll do whatever we can.
We'll kick them out. Well,
Yeah. But
yeah.
I wasn't getting afforded that. Life wasn't giving me that option. I couldn't leave. I mean, I had to sit in all of it.
Yeah. You just had no other choice, right?
Yeah. Because I was
Yeah.
still so susceptible in my cancer. I'm like, it's not like I'm going to go out and do drugs. And it's just like, what do I do besides just cry and grieve and just be in that pain? And it was then when my partner, she was having these like lucid dreams.
Okay.
And she was like trying to make sense of her dreams and everything. And so she brought home this book, and it was on ayahuasca, which is it's a psychedelic plant medicine.
Hmm.
And it's kind of funny because before cancer, like I was the one just digging into everything, and you come with me. Like I was grabbing her along the ride. And
Okay.
then it's kind of as if like cancer stopped me in my tracks and allowed her to do her little curiosity stuff. And I was like
Okay.
picking up the crumbs because she's funny. She's kind of like a little mole where she's just digging into all of this curiosity. And then she's like, "Oh, this is cool. This is not," and then like throws it aside. And then I'm like walking behind her, picking
Okay.
up what she's going into. And it's like, but it was some of the things that it's like, oh, psychedelics. I'm like, well, this goes against 12 steps because this wouldn't be considered being sober.
Right. Goes
But
against the system for sure.
it goes against the system. But then my system just collapsed. So I'm like, well,
Right.
who's making the rules? Right. So let me be curious with this. So it
Yeah.
kind of just kept digging up everything that I was told not to do.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
So
because you've realized, if I may, like that it's actually up to you.
I haven't
It
realized that, but I'm
Okay,
saying
but you're getting there.
now that I don't have somebody telling me what it is,
Hmm.
and I'm learning that it's up to me because I
Okay.
still don't trust myself because I'm still in my
Sure.
mind, I'm still an addict. Like I couldn't
Right.
trust my decisions. Look at my
Yeah, I
life.
totally get that.
Yeah, it's like my life
Yeah.
was
I've
proof
screwed
of
up.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was in the curiosity that she was digging up that would then cause me to have other moments of like that letter of like it's clashing against my beliefs. And then it would be like, well, but where did I get this belief from? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, this belief came from the structure that lied to me. So maybe that belief wasn't actually my belief. You
Mm.
see how it's a constant like I'm getting triggered and then I have to introspect.
Yeah. Yeah. Just tons of awareness and questioning and building your discernment of like, okay, wait, why did I just trigger off that? Wait, what's that about? Is that actually me, or is that some external
Yeah.
force? Right.
And
Oh,
so
wow.
not knowing like I love how you just said that because it's kind of like it is building a muscle. I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
aware of what's going on until like literally like a year ago is when I was able to put everything together that oh I was being shown this process. I'm being shown how to start trusting my inner authority and
Mm.
not outsourcing that to anybody. And in fact, the whatever's going to trigger me, whether it's my like our kids who are going through something like this, it's like what in me is so triggered about that, right? Like, yes, they're
Yes,
going through something, but like all of the paths that everything it leads back to us.
it does. Yes. Well, because most of the people in our life are mirrors, right? And that is
It
a
can be.
can be mirrors. Yeah, that's fair. But that's can be kind of a complex idea. But when, like, say, my kid or a struggling kiddo has some maladaptive behaviors, right?
Mhm.
Then that can trigger or sort of remind me of my wounds. And then I get scared and desperate. And then I'm acting off my fear and desperation. And I cannot possibly
Yeah.
show up for them in any way but reactiveness. Does that?
Yep. And it stops
Yeah.
becoming about them and it
Yes.
then becomes about you. Absolutely.
Every time.
Mhm. And it's
Yeah.
learning to save them from that descent that I'm kind of going over. Like the truth is found in the descent. And it's
Yes.
hard
And the
because you
descent,
don't
you mean as things break down,
as
right? So
things as your world. Like as life is
crumble.
like boom, boom, they say when it rains, it pours. That's kind of like what's
Okay.
happening. I feel like those are the sacred moments that the structures are able to break down. It's our heart breaks, but we forget the
Yeah.
last, it breaks open.
Right.
So yes, it's heartbreaking, but that means now we have an open heart.
Yeah. I love that. There's a quote. It's like, you're not breaking down, you're breaking open.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So that's
Yeah.
that's kind of where I think it was showing me that each time that I'm breaking, oh, this is a vulnerable moment for me. And
Right.
so instead of projecting this onto the other, how is this
Right.
me?
Yeah.
And how can I come inside and help that piece so I'm not going to project that fear onto the other so they can have their own experience and I can be here for them in that experience.
Yeah. Yeah. For everybody, here's just a little example. I'm just going to throw this in there. Is I remember some of my darkest moments when my son had gone to wilderness and he was clean, he was doing really good, and then he got back into it. But then I exploded, because I was so afraid of what I might do and all the things. But those, that 6 to 8 weeks after that, all the shame came in, and it's interesting because that's one of those very epiphany moments for me in my journey, that it really showed me that it was not about my son anymore, because it was always about him from that point up to that point. It was like,
Yeah.
how are we going to fix him? How are we going to get him help? How are we going to make him stop? How are we going to get him to make the right choices? It was all about him and me trying to control him to get him to freaking come home on time and to stop putting those things in his body and to stop smoking in our house. It's just like constant. And so I really do understand if parents are there. But when I guess came to the depths of my soul in those moments, that was when my epiphany happened.
Mm,
Is like, oh my gosh, this is not about my son anymore. I am not even close to the parent I want to be, and
yeah.
he needs somebody different if I'm going to have any kind of influence at all.
Yeah. Well, that
So
goes
that's
along
that
with the
descent.
caregiver,
Yeah.
because it's the same as like, so what my parents were going through when I'm
Yes.
struggling, everybody knows that I have to go to rehab. Like, so it's like, it's all about me. It's all about me. When I had cancer, my caregiver was Kira, but it was all about me, all about me. And what you just said, it's like, yes, we're the ones that are in like in kind of chaos, but what's it doing to you?
Yeah.
Don't forget about, like, that was one thing that I hated. I'm like, everyone's like, oh, we're praying for you. I'm like, pray for Kira. Like
Yeah.
here, the mother, the father, the partner, the caregiver,
Yeah.
that like it still is about them. We're going through something dangerous. How is it affecting your system?
Yes. Yes. And it's so hard to do that
Yeah.
because a parent or I will speak for me, right? Feels like, how could I possibly have anything to do with me? It's so hard to see that you have anything to do with it. I think it's very hard. And some people are there, and some parents are there, and some parents aren't yet, and that's okay. Everybody may or may not come to it on their own timing,
Yeah.
but it is a very, I'm going to say, like, humbling and courageous. And maybe courageous covers it all, but I still feel like there's some humility in there to realize, like, the reason why this is so hard for me is because of my wounds and the system that I'm choosing to believe in, right?
And the fact that you do love this person
Yes.
that's hurting.
Yeah.
Right. But that can
Yeah.
stop there. The story doesn't have to go more than like, let's put blame anywhere.
Right.
Like, it's just, let's just keep holding. Yes, I love this person. And this is bringing up old wounds of mine that now I see I'm transferring over to this other person, which only just overburden, like it just kind of is more burdening of this already burdened individual.
Yeah.
It's like we all have our struggle that we're going through.
Yeah.
We don't need to carry everybody's burden, like, and it's not selfish. I think that's another thing that's like,
Yes.
well, I can't think of myself during this time that he needs me. It's like, well, no, I need you, and that's specifically the reason why you need to take care of yourself.
Yeah, exactly, right? Oh, that's so
Yeah.
interesting. My puppy just came to get some loves. um, Gosh, I have so many questions. One question is I want to go back to how you began to trust yourself. What is that like? What does that look like for parents? And you may not have the answers, right? Because you're not the parent to yourself. But how did you learn to
Yeah,
trust yourself?
okay. So I am the parent to myself.
Oh,
Like
okay. Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah. I get that.
I went on a journey to like a conscious journey of, okay, I don't know if I like the things I like because I was told to like them.
Mm,
And so I just consciously chose to map out, like, I started getting into some other things that like Kira was like with astrology and IFS therapy and like parts work and like
yeah,
archetypes, all of these things, stories, myths. Like
yeah.
that's where I was like, when I would see somebody that I looked up to, I wanted to question what in me sees something in them because like learning about the shadow, learning about mirroring, I'm like,
Okay.
oh, a part of me recognizes me in them.
Okay.
So I was able to learn more about myself by the things that I was interested
Yeah.
in or that I was feeling a resonance with. So when there's
Yeah.
a story, it's like, what character do I resonate with?
Oh,
Why do
I
I
love
resonate
that.
with that character? And I started to just get to know who I was outside of the system. And once I was
Yeah.
getting to know myself outside of the system, but it was when I was diving into the parts that I wasn't allowed to go explore. It was the shadow side, the sexual desires, the
Yeah.
like which only had one place to grow. It was lustful. It was a
Right. It's
steaming.
bad.
It was
Yeah.
bad. So what option did that part of me have besides turning into who they said it was?
Right.
And so I
Yeah.
was like, well, let me actually go there and let me talk to this part of me.
Right. So
Right.
IFS, everybody, is Internal Family Systems by Charles Schwartz, I think.
Richard Schwartz.
Richard Schwartz. Sorry. Yeah, Richard Schwartz.
Yeah.
That's close.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ever, and
Yeah.
there's lots of books out there. It's an incredible modality. Just want to say
Yeah.
that. So so you started doing that, and you're like literally, it feels like kind of reborn. I don't know if that's a,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like rebirthing yourself. Is that what you said? You're a parent to yourself?
Well, yes, absolutely. Because the day of my transplant day, they call that a rebirth day because I'm
Okay.
literally getting a new immune system.
Wow.
My immune system is 9.5 years old right now. Like that's it. I
Are
had to
you are
get
you
up.
more like your sister than you were?
Oh, like the sense, like I can't. There's so many things that I can't do now because I'm too sensitive. Like I used to be a deer hunter growing up, and like I can't hunt, I can't fish. I'm like it's too
No
sad
way.
emotionally. I don't know what if that's from that, but like yeah, there's a huge change
That's,
in the way that I approach everything. Like, and it's kind
oh
of
my
like my
God.
soul started to grow. Like this is where I found Soul Jake of like, okay,
Wow.
it's not about conquering or controlling. Like, so the soul doesn't need an absolute truth.
Hmm.
That's not what brought me safety. Like, that's what brought me safety before. It was like I thought I had this truth that
Right.
answered what happened when I died.
Right. The external in belief system,
Yes,
right?
the existential, but I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see truth in everything. I'm seeing truth in the places that they told me there wasn't any truth in.
Right.
I'm seeing these parts that were demonized were my creativity, were my innocence, were my imagination. I lost those parts. I didn't know how to play. And that's been one
Yeah.
of the harder things for me to work with. Is like, I'd start to say like, how can I was like, how do I have fun? It's like I don't have fun. Everything is about work. Everything is about I could use this for this, I could do this and this. And it was so sad that I was like, oh, that's part of what got cut off
Yeah.
by the system. There wasn't any time for that. So yeah, it was a rebirth, but they're young parts. And so I did have to nurture them. So I
Yeah.
did have to bring that unconditional loving mother to these parts. I had to bring that father who was always out working and always out striving and proving. I had to bring him home so
Mm.
that he could hold space for all of us to be here. And that's how I look at the work that I do now is I'm finding the parts that were were exiled because they were uncomfortable for others. And I'm going and I'm finding what they need and loving them and bringing them back home. And so
Nice.
I have a whole family system inside me. I don't
Sure.
need my mom or my dad to give me the nurturing and the comfort that they needed to as a kid. I don't
Right.
need my partner to fulfill my needs. I'm a complete person now, choosing to be able to share in that completeness with them. And they
Yeah.
don't, it's not a burden for them.
Right.
It's not me projecting anything onto them. It's
Right.
all me.
You know what just came to my mind is I think sometimes parents forget that their children are a complete entity to themselves,
Yeah.
right?
Literally.
Because
Yeah. Yeah.
right, often, of course, we call them my children, my sons, right? I they're mine, but that language always has an effect, and I think often, wait a minute, oh, they're yes, they came through me, I bore them, right? But they are not mine. They are
Yeah.
theirs. They are their own. And that just came to me when you were saying that. I think Brad Reedy, who's an amazing parent coach in this field, he's not just a parent coach, he's a um, psychologist and a doctor of psychology. He's just incredible. And he talks about the parents have an impossible task. And that impossible task is being everything for your
Mm.
infant, when you have an infant, and then as you raise the adult, then you let go completely.
Yeah.
That's the impossible task of a parent, is you're everything and then you're actually nothing, which is like, it is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It is, because so many times parents, they feel like they see snippets of potential or snippets of who this person is, right? They're children. And then when they become possibly someone else than they thought, there's an absolute like grieving process, because especially in society, right? We're talking about systems. I think in society,
Yeah.
even if you're not in a religion, there's society rules. It's like
Mhm.
everybody graduates high school and everybody should have a gathering of friends, and everybody should eat dinner together, and everybody should go to college. And there's
Mhm.
definitely some kind of checks or milestones or things that are
Absolutely.
approved of in society, right? So when when our children choose something else, like they don't come to dinner, those are pretty low stakes, but a lot of families treat them as very high stakes.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think impossible task is like a really nice phrase, because it feels impossible to a
Mhm.
parent. But the idea is what you were just talking about. It's like, no, you are completely your own, and you get to decide what you like and what you don't like, and who you're with and who you're not with, and what you put in your body and what you don't, and really what you do with your body and what you don't. And it's so, and I don't even know if some parents even realize they get to make those decisions.
And the fact that they get to be that, then in turn, that parent to the part of themselves that they also needed.
Yeah.
Understanding that the person that's struggling outwardly is not the only one that's struggling.
Right. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like,
It's always the identified patient, right? That's kind of what
yeah,
we call it, right? It's like, right, were the identified
yeah,
patient for many, many years. My son was the identified patient. It's the kid, it's the person who's getting diagnosed and medicated and called into the principal's office and has an IEP and
yeah,
all the things, right? And then it's like, no, it's a system
yeah,
problem. I
yeah,
mean, a family system issue, right?
yeah.
Not problem, but oh,
And not even, and also too,
not
I
even a
really want to hit
problem.
on the fact that it's like, there doesn't need to be the blame, right? Because it's like, oh, I'm not saying that the parents or the system in general needs to take the blame. Maybe the system in general, because the system is what taught the parents as well. But it's like, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than
Yeah,
just your parents, because there's a thing where it's like
of
people are
course.
mad that, oh, my parents made me this way. No, there's a point where you say, oh, wow, my whole life was because of them for a while. But
Right.
now I have that awareness. Now it's me. It's all
Yes.
me. And
Yes.
now accountability, real true accountability comes into take place. And now you understand your shadow, you can sit with the shadow of somebody else and you can understand, my parents, they also were unsafe. They
Yeah.
also like have that same thing happening to them. And I can hold the presence in, I don't need to carry their burden, but I can hold presence in. And so it's like, I feel like it's a reciprocal relationship that we're trying to get with our kids and our parents. But when you're the kid, it's really like the parents are
Yeah.
really doing a lot. And so
Yeah.
maybe this is a good way of like, okay, let's take some of that back out because some of it is just a projection. So let me pull this in, see how their behavior is making my parts feel,
Yeah.
work with these parts. And now like it is a big difference when you talk to somebody and your behavior didn't cause them any reaction.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
oh, okay.
That might seem really out there for lots of people, but if you keep doing your work, you'll someday understand that.
Yeah.
That just brought up a memory for me. I think I was probably 17 or 18, maybe 19, but anyway, I was up near there. I grew up kind of fast, but um, I remember going to my mom and kind of bringing her blame. Well, you did this and you did that, and how come, and why not, and what about that, and you didn't, and all that.
Mhm.
And I remember she was very genuine, which was very helpful. And she's like, "Oh, honey, I need you to know something." And because she was so authentic and genuine, and she was a lovely person, she just said, I need you to know I did my best. I did everything I could for you. And now it's yours. Your life is yours." And it was like a literal baton
Yeah.
pass. And I think kudos to her for not getting defensive. Right? And it was appropriate because I was an adult, even I was a young adult, but still. And she was like, "It's up to you now." And I really remember thinking, I think I was a little offended, like, "Oh, what?" A little like that. But then also, like, what an amazing boundary of this isn't, it's not mine anymore. I did what I could. And now this is yours. I just like that memory flashed into my mind. And you said that. I was like, wow. I don't know where my mom was pretty insightful. I have no idea where she got it.
But that's also so empowering. Yes, not in
So
the
empowering.
moment, but like I kind of feel like that's how rehab worked for me too, where it didn't seem like it was landing.
Hmm.
But like I feel like it sneaks in there. Truth will sneak in there.
Yeah.
And eventually at a moment that you need it the most, it's like those moments, it's like it didn't feel good that she said that to you, but man,
Right.
that the truth rings really strong and clear right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. And it was
Yeah.
definitely, I did feel sort of like a weight pass onto my shoulders
Mm,
because I was like, okay. And then I went off and made some decisions. I
yeah,
was just like, all right. Um,
that's cool.
yeah. And it is, I feel like it's courageous on a parent's side to realize what is happening now is not mine anymore.
Mhm.
And I think it is really courageous for a young adult to accept those terms, right? Because so many kids are stuck a lot of times because the parents haven't let go yet in that child arena, even though they're 20 something possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. There's a lot here.
Yeah.
I do feel like we probably need to go because the audience might be like, what?
Woo.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
And this
sure.
is ones you anyway, maybe you listen to it next week again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to say before we wrap up, or as we wrap up, I should say?
Just like I guess it's because you do have your audience as parents. I think one of the things that I am grateful the most out of my parents was like I'm not saying like to accept any type of behavior, right? Because I know everybody's different, but
Right?
like I knew that they loved me
Mm,
regardless. Like I knew it. And it was kind of like when I got into that thought of like, well, my parents aren't acting the same way that the system God says he is. They're they're loving me no matter what I do. They're taking me back every time because they saw that I would be just heartbroken that, hey, I'm screwing up again. And I'd come to them and it was just always open arms. And it was a patience that I needed. I was like, I know I can get it. And
Mm.
even if I don't look like I'm getting it, there's truths that sink in. And so it's like don't lose hope on the kid that the behavior is just so out of control. And it might be just that recognizing what is mine and what is theirs that could be the big difference, that they feel that disconnect.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, now I'm not on my own, but now I'm carrying my own. That can be the big difference to help them come back or make the changes that they need. So
No, I love that. Don't lose hope. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
I think that's so, it's just perfect.
Cool. Cool.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much for your time. If people want to learn more about you, then we'll put that in the show notes. Is that okay?
That works perfect.
Awesome. Jake does coaching, everybody. He's phenomenal because he holds really good space. He's not phenomenal because he knows all your answers.
Right.
Oh my
Thanks,
gosh.
man.
Thanks, Jake. Okay. Bye, everybody.